Hello and welcome to the Hard to Handle Sports Podcast. This is episode number 63. My name's Ismael Sajuan. Thank you so much for being here. Osaka needs a break from tennis. Is she considering retirement? Also, the villain of the US Open, Tsitsipas, loses to 18-year-old Carlos Alcaraz in the third round of the US Open. Rublev versus Tiafoe live up to the billing. It was an amazing match that ended at 2:14 New York time. Also, Ronaldo returns to United. What does this mean for United? What does this mean for Ronaldo? In the NBA, Nets signed Millsap and Aldridge. Lakers are going to sign DeAndre Jordan. It looks like Lakers-Nets final is inevitable. And the NFL season is less than a week away. 5 things I am looking forward to in the NFL season. All of that on this episode of the Hard to Handle Sports Podcast. Let's get started. Osaka had an interesting choice of words yesterday when talking about her future, her tennis match. She addressed the media. She started crying a little bit. She got very emotional, and she basically said that she doesn't know when she's going to play again. She's not enjoying her tennis, and that she needs a break. And I think it's very evident that she does need a break. She needs to, take a step back from tennis and, analyze it from, a couple steps back and see if she really wants to continue to do this. Here are some of her quotes that she said yesterday at the end of her press conferences. She had answered some other questions before. This was at the end when she was addressing, I believe it was the Japanese media. So these are her quotes. Recently, when I win, I don't feel happy. I feel more like a relief. When I lose, I feel very sad, and I don't think that's normal. I'm kind of at this point where I'm trying to figure out what I want to do, and honestly, I don't know when I'm going to play my next match. And she said this very emotional, like from the heart. You could tell that it was tough. It was tough for her to say. I think the leader of the media segment kind of wanted to cut her off, and I think she thought she was helping her out, and she was like, okay, we're done here. And she was like, no, let me finish. Osaka was like, nah, let me finish. And she finished, and it just felt like she really wanted to address the media. She must have a lot of pressure. She must feel like she's letting a lot of people down. But, I think she does need to take a step back. Obviously, she's a great player. She's a young player. She's one of these next generation that's going to, carry women tennis into the future. And, we're all excited to see her as tennis fans, or just as sports fans, or just as anyone that likes to see young talent coming and, taking the mantle or taking the reins from the older generation and just being great. We're all excited to see her succeed and be great. But, I feel like for the most part, fans are pretty, they'll turn on you quickly. And Osaka, she was the reigning champion. She won the US Open, and it looked like the crowd was behind her. They were cheering for her. Obviously, everyone that was attending the US Open, anyone that's following the US Open knows about Osaka and the French Open and how she, everything that happened in the French Open, why she missed Wimbledon. So everybody was, I feel like everyone was trying to be supportive of her, and for the most part they were. But as soon as, Osaka started playing, started losing her composure against Leylah Fernandez, then you can see the crowd turning on her. They even booed her a little bit 'cause she was taking a little bit of time to get back into ready position. And that just goes to show, the crowd will root you. They'll stay with you. They'll ride with you when you're doing great. But, they're quick to turn on you too. Like we saw yesterday, that were rooting for her. Then it would look like she might get upset, and they were rooting for the upset. And then as soon as Osaka started to show some signs of, not really wanting to be there, or maybe it was too much for her, and she started, acting out, throwing her racket, taking a little bit longer to get back into ready position, the crowd turned on her, started booing her a little bit. It wasn't like anything crazy, but they did turn on her a little bit. And my point being that she should take a break, because if she's not enjoying her tennis, I feel like she can't just play herself out of it. She can't just, the only way she could do it is if she goes if she were to play her way out of it, she would have to go win a tournament, something major that just uplifts you to a different level. But the way she's feeling right now, I think it's almost impossible to win a major, a grand, U.S. Open, French Open, anything like that when you're not enjoying your tennis. The amount of pressure that she feels, that she says that when she wins is more of a relief. It's not even like enjoying herself. There's no way she could get to a final. And if she's not getting to a final, we're gonna see more games like this, like where she loses her composure, where she's taking a little bit longer to get into ready position, and the crowd is gonna turn on her, and then once the crowd turns on you, you're gonna start enjoying tennis even less, and it's just gonna be an endless loop. So I think for the better of Naomi, I think it is better for her to take a break, to take a step back from tennis, and just gather her thoughts and really just analyze if she wants to do this, because she doesn't have to play another tournament. She had this segment with Nick Kyrgios and Billie Jean, and it was pretty good. I didn't watch the whole thing, but basically one of the clips that I saw was I believe it was Billie Jean told her that you don't have to play another game if you don't want to, and it's true. Like I said, she's young. She's 23. We obviously all thought she was gonna be here playing, entertaining us for the next 10 plus years. But if she doesn't, she made money already. She has a lot of endorsements. If she does not find tennis enjoyable anymore, if it's just a cause of her anxiety, of her depression, if this is the main thing, if she doesn't want to be in the spotlight, if she's someone that thrives or wants to pursue another profession where she's not in the spotlight, where she's able to retreat and walk the streets of wherever she lives and not be recognized, and all of those stuff that us regular people, regular Joes get to enjoy. If she wants something like that, where she's I don't want to be a superstar, I don't want to be a celebrity, I just want to do something else, go ahead and pursue it. One of the things that I could tie it to is kind of like Rihanna. We all know that we all met her with her music. That's how she got big, and that's how she made her first big break. That's how she made her money. And I think there was an interview that said music wasn't her passion. It wasn't like her end all be all. Like, she really enjoys the lingerie and the makeup and all that stuff. And we've seen that she used her platform and her success as a singer to really drive her Fenty brand and her makeup and all her lingerie and all that stuff. And now I've been waiting for Rihanna to drop music for God knows how long, and it doesn't seem like she's really in the rush to drop music. And if she doesn't drop music ever, then it's pretty understandable. Like, she's made it. She doesn't owe us anything. And I'm not comparing the two things, but I could just say to Naomi, like, hey, you already made some dough. You should be set. You have sponsors. You already won some Grand Slams. If you're not enjoying tennis anymore, like, there's no reason to keep doing it. I'm sure she could use her capital, her money that she's already made, and just live a comfortable life and find something that really brings her joy, instead of just going to tournaments with a lot of pressure, disappointing herself, disappointing others, having the crowd turn on her. It's just that's not the best case scenario. And if she does take a step back and then she tries to pursue other venues and she doesn't enjoy them, then that might also reignite her passion for tennis. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people that hate their job and then they go get another job and they hate the other job more, and then they go back because they're like, all right, you know what? I think I was just too close to this. I didn't look at it from a distance. Or it could even be like relationships. You're with someone that you think is like, you always think the grass is greener, and you leave them, and then you come back, you get with somebody else, or you don't even get anybody else, and you're like, damn, I fucked that up. I should have stayed with I wasn't appreciating what I had right in front of me. So that could be the case too. Naomi, if she takes a long break, she might just have to take all of the rest of 2021 off and the rest of 2022 off, and then see if she feels that desire to come back. And I feel like she will. I feel like it's gonna be a short break, maybe like a year long, and then she'll get the itch. She'll get the itch to come back, and hopefully she'll be back, because I do want to continue to see her playing tennis. But I would not be surprised if that's it. If she does call it, if she starts enjoying her free time, starts enjoying being away from the spotlight, and just wants to continue to live life like that. So all I know is she's definitely should take a break. She should not continue this the rest of the calendar year for tennis after the U.S. Open. She should definitely take a step back. She probably should have continued her break after the French Open. She missed Wimbledon. There was an immense amount of pressure to play the Olympics because it was in her native country. And then once she came back for that, it was like, okay, you're back. Like, you got to play the U.S. Open. You're the reigning champion. I think she should have just skipped everything and just, gotten herself to the right place. But hey, you can't blame her for trying. And we'll see where she ends up. As far as Leylah Fernandez, she's a lefty, so she gives Osaka problems. She has struggled playing against lefty players. And it was just the second 18-year-old that won yesterday, Leylah Fernandez. She showed a lot of heart, a lot of spirit. Canadian tennis is on the rise. Shapovalov, FFA, Leylah Fernandez. I think there's others. I just don't remember their names, but she played a great game. She showed a lot of composure. She got broken in the second set, and Naomi was about to serve for the match, and Leylah Fernandez broke her right back, forced a tie break, and she dominated that tie break, and she carried that momentum into the third set. Osaka lost her composure, and that was game. Leylah Fernandez got the victory. She moves on to the fourth round of the U.S. Open. It was an exciting match. I watched it. It was great. So I wish Leylah Fernandez the best of luck. I mean, it's not her. It's not, she had Naomi Osaka, who's visibly rattled, but, Leylah Fernandez could only play whoever's in front of her. So shout out to her to take out the reigning champion, upset of the week. Shout out to Leylah Fernandez. And for Naomi Osaka, I hope you take a break from tennis and you figure out what you want to do. Because this is a bad situation to be in, like I already explained. To continue to play and try to persevere. And obviously, if you're not enjoying your tennis, you're not going to have the best attitude. You're not going to have the best body language or, reactions. And the crowd is going to turn on you, which is going to make you enjoy tennis even more, even less, which is going to make you, just be more irritable, be more upset. And it's just a bad loop. So it's best to just take a step back and, analyze what you want to do. And I hope, you figure out what you want to do. If it's tennis, hey, great for us, great for me who likes to talk about sports. If it's not, then, good luck with all your ventures. The villain of the U.S. Open, Tsitsipas, loses in the third round of the U.S. Open. He loses to 18-year-old Carlos Alcaraz, who defeats him in a 5-set thriller. He is the youngest man to make it to the fourth round of the U.S. Open since Pete Sampras and Michael Chang in 1989. A very impressive match. Man, Alcaraz really showed me a lot. He has been touted as the next big thing for Spain. Federer has commented on him. Nadal has commented on him. They see a lot of great stuff in this man. And I haven't really seen too many matches of him. But yesterday in the big stage, playing in the biggest stadium specific for tennis in the world, he did not look rattled. Playing against the number 3 in the world, he looked like he was made for this. He looked like very comfortable. He wasn't rattled. There was a lot of moments in the match where it looked like Tsitsipas was gonna take a stranglehold of the match and just impose his will and show this 18-year-old that, hey, I'm the number 3 in the world. This is my match. Thank you for a good match, but this is it. This is when I'm gonna take control of the match. And to Alcaraz credit, he always showed composure. He always fought back. He was always in the match, and that shows a lot of character. That shows a lot of mental strength. And on top of that, he has a very, very strong forehand, and his serves got all the way up to 134 miles per hour. So there's a lot of stuff that's really, really impressive about this kid. He had 45 winners off forehands and backhands, and he's smart. He used the crowd. Everyone knows that Tsitsipas has been kind of hated on because of the breaks he takes, taking too long, going to the restroom. People have accused him of cheating, of texting his coach. And, Carlos Alcaraz used that to his advantage. Every time he got an important point, he was like, "Vamos, vamos!" He was trying to get the crowd into it. The crowd got behind him. It was entertaining TV. I do say so myself. It was fun to see him play. It was fun to see him beat Tsitsipas. Tsitsipas, you know, he's taking on that villain role at the U.S. Open. It's like you want him to lose, but you can't stop watching him play. And, you know, being the number 3 player in the world, you kind of expected him to go far into the U.S. Open, and every match, it was just fun. It was just entertaining seeing the crowd get behind the opponent, boo him when he, you know, goes into his, now that it looks very, you know, very common for him to go into the restroom, you just kind of expect it. In between sets, you're like, okay, is he going to go? Yep, he's going to the restroom. There you go. And sure enough, the crowd would follow with some boos, and it was just from my point of view, I think it's entertaining. Obviously, there needs to be a rule change, or some type of time limit, so, you know, players don't abuse it and just, you know, cool down the opponent. Like, it just sucks if you win an important set, if you're getting momentum, and then your opponent goes into the restroom for 10 minutes and just kills your momentum. Savrev and others have talked about it, but it was just fun. In my opinion, it's fun. Like, obviously the rule is not going to change in the middle of the U.S. Open, so it's fun to see Tsitsipas become the villain and everyone boo him. I've even booed him, like, just watching. I'm like, come on, man, you're doing it again. So it's just all good TV, in my opinion. And to see Carlos Alcaraz be the man that takes down Tsitsipas and eliminates him, it was just a good storyline, in my opinion. Like, it would have been great for Andy Murray to take him out, and, you know, a winner, a Grand Slam winner, a major winner, one of the greats, one of the most renowned names in tennis. It would have been great, but Tsitsipas came back. Give him credit. He fought back. He won. And then you were kind of seeing, you know, the crowd get behind every opponent of Tsitsipas. And for it to be an 18-year-old, you know, who's been touted as, you know, the next big thing for Spain, it was amazing. I enjoyed the whole match. But his mental strength is what really impressed me. Down 2 breaks in the third, he came back. It was 2-5, down 2 breaks. And he comes back and wins that, and he wins it in the tie break. And you're like, okay, he's getting momentum, 2-1. And Tsitsipas comes back in the 4th set and leaves him in a bagel, wins 4-0. And this man just comes back. Carlos Alcaraz, this kid comes back and just shows the number 3 what's up and eliminates him. And it was just amazing. Like I said, that forehand was good. He had Tsitsipas behind the baseline. And, man, those drop shots that he just had Tsitsipas running all over the court. Tsitsipas, for a big man, he moves pretty well. But, man, Carlos Alcaraz was just special. He was just special. And if this is signs of things to come, then I'm very excited to see Carlos Alcaraz mature and take that next step. And he might be the next big thing. Like, if you're a Spanish tennis fan, then, you know, it looks like Nadal is getting to the tail end of his career. You know, he already conceded that he's not going to play in 2021. Hopefully he comes back in 2022 strong. But you have Carlos Alcaraz to root for, and it looks like he's going to be great. There's a lot of records that he's broken, that he's achieving. Some of the stuff that Nadal doesn't even have, or some of these achievements that Nadal doesn't even have. I think he's the first person of 18 years or younger to defeat a number 3 since like 1970 something. So it's just incredible what he's doing. And, man, it was a thriller. It was a great match. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think. How far do you guys think Carlos Alcaraz could go? This side of the draw just opened up a lot with Rublev losing, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Tsitsipas losing. Everyone was just saying advantage Medvedev, because now it looks like he's really his draw just got a lot easier. But, man, this kid might just go on a Cinderella story. Here's the stat that I was looking at. Became the youngest player to defeat a top 3 seed at the U.S. Open since ATP rankings began in 1973. So, man, this is this was history that we watched, man. This is incredible. 18 years old, senior in high school, just defeated the number 3 player at the U.S. Open in the biggest stadium, tennis specific stadium in the world. Is just incredible. And it was amazing. And now we see the villain of the U.S. Open leave, Tsitsipas, after, getting to the French Open final. He lost in the first round in Wimbledon to Tiafoe and Francis Tiafoe. And then he got to the semifinals of the Cincinnati Open, losing to Zverev. And now he's out in the third round at the U.S. Open. So, not the best results since reaching the finals of the French Open. And that's what we've kind of been accustomed to from this next generation. They have some nice highs, but then they're unable to follow it up. And we've been kind of spoiled seeing the greatness of Djokovic and Nadal and Federer throughout the years, where once they broke into the scene, they were like pretty much there, other than a few slumps that obviously they've had, but they were almost always like there. And this next generation is just, hopefully Zverev could, he had that breakthrough at the Olympics. He won that gold, and we'll see how he does and if he makes it to the finals or he goes far into this tournament. But it just seems to be a reoccurring issue. But we'll see. I'm just very excited for Carlos Alcaraz and what he represents for the future of tennis. And let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think about Carlos Alcaraz? Congratulations to him on the match of his life. And Tsitsipas, he said after he did have the press conferences, he did say that he's not breaking any rules. And, by the letter of the law, he's not. But, in the spirit of the game, I think we could all say that, you could be acting a little bit better. But he's out of the tournament, so we don't have to talk about it anymore. Rublev versus Tiafoe. This was a match that I was really looking forward to. Tiafoe, not that high of a ranking. I believe he was like 55 in the world. Rublev, who just enjoyed a deep run into the Cincinnati Open. He got to the final, losing to Zverev in under an hour. The final, he didn't have the best performance. Zverev completely dominated, but Rublev still a great tournament, and he came in here hot. He came in here as the number 7th ranked player in the world, number 5 seed at the U.S. Open. And I thought, 2 23-year-olds, these guys have played with each other for a while. They grew up playing against each other in the juniors, so I thought it was going to be a good match. Tiafoe, he's a very inconsistent player right now in his career. He has some good victories against top 10 players, but he also has, a lot of inconsistency. He kind of struggles to tie wins, to put one great performance after another. He'll have a great game, like defeating Tsitsipas in the first round of Wimbledon, and then in the next match there's a letdown, and he doesn't play up to the potential that he has, the capabilities that he has. But I thought, this was going to be a great match. Both of them young, 23-year-olds. Rublev, a little bit more established, 23-year-old, top 10 player in the world. Tiafoe, a junior, like prodigy. He had a lot of good success when he was a junior. It hasn't translated that much as, in the pros, in the majors. But I thought it was going to be a good match. I thought it had the potential to be a really good match. I was telling my friends, like, damn, this is one you got to watch. This is going to be a good one. And sure enough, it lived up to the billing. They played till 2:14 p.m. New York time, the 6th latest match ever. Tiafoe, for all the inconsistencies that I've mentioned already, he is the first American to reach the second week of the U.S. Open in back-to-back years since Andy Roddick and Marty Fish in 2011, 2012. And, after the match, we'll get into the match a little bit, but after the match in his press conference, he said, I want these guys. I want to put it on my resume. I came out today, and I was like, I'm going to beat him. I grew up with these guys. I don't fear any of these guys. Let's keep going. And that was just, I was hyped. I like Tiafoe because he's a showman. He gets the crowd into it. He dances. He celebrates his points. He makes tennis fun. And, I like that. I enjoy that. And it was good. Rublev started strong. He won that first set. He broke Tiafoe pretty early in the set, I believe, and after I was getting kind of worried because Rublev, he is the number 7 in the world. He has a lot more rank than Tiafoe, and Tiafoe could get down sometimes. He could, the moment sometimes gets too big for him, or he gets down on his head. But to Tiafoe's credit, he stayed through it the whole match. Whenever there was a slump, whenever he double faulted or he missed a volley or something like that, he always came back strong, and I could really appreciate that. Even the commentators were talking about it, like it really looks like Tiafoe has matured, because there's one mistake will lead to another, and he would just have a string of mistakes, and he couldn't stop the crash that he was experiencing. And yesterday, by no means did Tiafoe play like a perfect game or anything like that, but every time that he had a little hiccup, he would come back strong. He would double fall, he'll come back with the ace, and he would be down 15-40, he'll boom boom, we're at deuce. It kind of felt like a coming of age match for Frances Tiafoe. I believe before this match, he had a 2-10 record in matches that went 5 sets. So for him to pull this out against the number 7th ranked player in the world was just, it was exciting. It's exciting for American tennis. The US doesn't have a player in the top 30 rankings in the world for tennis. So people have heralded Tiafoe as that guy that's gonna bring back US tennis into heights, but we'll see if he's able to do that. For now, let's just enjoy this this moment. But Tiafoe, like I said, this felt like a coming of age moment for him. Rublev did have a lot of mistakes in the third set. He was serving for the match in the tiebreaker. He was up 6-5 and he double faulted, went 6-6, and after that Tiafoe ended up winning the tiebreak, and it looked like he was gonna get all the momentum. Tiafoe was up 4-2 in the fourth. It looked like he was ready to close it out. And he drops 4 straight games, losing 6-4 in the fourth. And now you're thinking, okay, Rublev, number 7th ranked player in the world, against Tiafoe, who's known to be inconsistent. It just looked like, Tiafoe had his chance to wrap it up in the fourth set, and he let it slip. And now Rublev was going to show his class. He was going to show why he's a top 10 player. And to Tiafoe's credit, he came in the fifth firing. He won 6-1 in the fifth set, just dominating Rublev. It was amazing. It was incredible. I'm glad I stayed up. The crowd definitely backed up Tiafoe. Obviously, American playing in the U.S. Open in New York. The crowd was amazing. They were chanting USA, USA throughout the whole match. They were chanting Tiafoe, Tiafoe. They were just super behind Frances Tiafoe, and Tiafoe as a man that thrives with energy, who plays with a lot of heart, who's a showman, who just likes to entertain, who likes to celebrate with points, who likes to celebrate winning sets, matches, everything. It was a perfect combination. The crowd was firing him up. He was getting energy off of them, and it was just a nice spectacle. It was fun. It was a fun match, over 3 hours long. I'm glad I stayed up to watch it. It was exciting, and we'll see how far Tiafoe goes. Like I said, this side of the draw is opening up. He goes against FFA next, and I wouldn't put it past him. He could, if he plays like he played against Rublev, he definitely has a chance to beat FAA. That's going to be another good match. So if you're looking for some good tennis, it's scheduled to go around 4 p.m. tomorrow on Sunday. But if this U.S. Open has showed us anything, is that a lot of these matches are going the distance, and some matches keep getting pushed back. So I would say maybe like around 5:30 if this trend continues. But it is scheduled for around 4 p.m. tomorrow, and I think that's going to be a great match. And if he's able to beat FFA, then the draw just keeps opening up, and it wouldn't be crazy to think that if Tiafoe gets past FFA, he could potentially get to the semifinals against Medvedev. I'm not calling it. I'm not saying that he's going to do that, but the draw did open up with Tsitsipas losing and others losing, and we'll see. We'll see how far Tiafoe could go, and I'm rooting for him. He's a showman. He's entertaining. He likes to celebrate. He did the LeBron afterwards. He's just a fun guy to watch play tennis, and I like that. Obviously, there's some people that don't like it, but I myself, I like an entertainer. I like someone that could play tennis, could be respectful of their opponent. I like the exchange Rublev and Tiafoe had at the middle, at the net, at the end of the match. It looked like there was no hard feelings. They hugged it out. I think they exchanged some words. Tiafoe patted him in the back. I'm pretty sure they both respected each other after a 5-set thriller. So, I'm a big Francis Tiafoe fan. And I hope he goes far. It was a great match. The match lived up to the billing, in my opinion. What do you guys think? Obviously, you might not have stayed up to watch it. Rublev, he is, he's a bigger name. If you're not American, if you don't follow Tiafoe, it could have just been, you could have just thought Rublev was just going to win this, but you missed out if you didn't watch it. It was a great match, and I'm glad I stayed up. How far do you guys think Tiafoe could go in the U.S. Open? Let me know. But moving along, let's talk some football. Ronaldo returns to United. It's almost been a week for me to digest it, to think about it. And the more I think about it, the more I like the move. It's great for Ronaldo. It's great for the Premier League. And it's absolutely amazing for United. The possibility of Ronaldo going to Manchester City must have killed Red fans. It must have killed the board of directors for United. It must have killed all of Ronaldo's past teammates. And it looked like they all, got together. Everyone was texting Ronaldo, don't do it. Don't join, the other side of United. It's going to kill your legacy. It's going to, tarnish your relationship with Manchester United fans who still adore you, who still, are thinking about those times when you were with United, all those great times. United has struggled in the recent years. And thankfully, Ronaldo does not go to Manchester City, and he is now reunited with Manchester United, with the Reds faithful. And I'm excited. I'm a Wolves fan. I support the Wolves. Obviously, the Wolves, they have 0 wins in the first 3 matches. They are not going to compete for the title. I don't think I'm being a negative fan, or, I don't think I'm saying anything crazy. I don't think anyone would revoke my Wolves fan card for saying something like that. So, obviously, United is in a different race than my Wolves are. It's sad to say. Obviously, I hope the Wolves one day, could fight for the title. But for now, top 6, top 10 is what we're fighting. So, for me, Ronaldo makes United the title favorites. It just does. Ronaldo, he not just only brings goals, he brings a leadership, and like a different type of leadership. There's a bunch of leaders, and they're good. They're good with their words. You respect them. Ronaldo is a different kind of leader because you don't just only respect him, you kind of adore this man. He's bigger than the sport. He's bigger than life sometimes. It's freaking Ronaldo. He's a legend. A lot of these people grew up trying to be Ronaldo, trying to imitate, doing his celebrations, rocking his cleats. Obviously, I grew up playing soccer, competitive soccer, and everybody wanted the Mercurials. Everyone wanted to, rock the socks like he did, do the free kick pose. Everyone, like anyone that played a winger was trying to do what Ronaldo does, and including these young guys in United, I could assure you they were trying to do a lot of the stuff that Ronaldo does. So it's just a different type of leadership. He leads like most leaders does, and then some more. He galvanizes you. He'll take you to places you think you're not even able to go. And as long as Ronaldo's on the field, you think you have a chance. You could be 2-3 goals down. If Ronaldo's on the field, we are not done. Obviously, he's not the same player that he once was. He doesn't influence the game for all 90 minutes. I could say that with confidence. That's one of the knocks on him. He could disappear sometimes, but he has those moments of brilliance. He just has like an aura to him where he could disappear for 90 minutes and he could put 2 goals in the back of the net in the last 5 minutes and get you the victory. And that's just what Ronaldo brings. We saw it. If you saw it in the international stage, he just did it for Portugal on Wednesday, I believe, and it was amazing. He missed a penalty, and then he scored 2 headers in stoppage time to give Portugal the lead. I believe it was against Ireland, but it was just amazing. It was just amazing, and that's what Ronaldo brings to United, and he's gonna bring a certain level of expectation. He's gonna work hard day in and day out. He's never gonna take a day off. when they're down against a team, he's never going to put his head down. He's always going to be like, come on, let's do it. Let's go. We could do this. And I think that's more than anything, more than the goals, that's what United needed. They needed that leader. Because before Sir Alex Ferguson was there to lead, to make you feel that calmness, he brought that pedigree, he brought the confidence, he instilled confidence in all his players, thinking like, you know what, my coach is going to push all the right buttons and we're going to be fine. If he subs me out, I know it's in the best interest for the team because this man, he's amazing and he's a legend and he's earned this respect. All the coaches since then, for some reason or another, they have not been able to bring that same aura to United. And even right now, I don't think they have the coach for the job. He's done a little better, but he's still. I don't believe in what's his name? I don't believe in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I don't. He's done a little better. He got them to 4th last year or 3rd or 2nd, but yeah, he got them to 2nd. But he's had a lot of talent. They spend a lot of money, and everyone still is doubting him. Is he able to push the right buttons? Is he able to lead these guys? Is he able to set the right lineups, bench the right people at the right time, and not lose the locker room? And there's a lot of questions for him. But I think Ronaldo helps. I think Ronaldo is going to lead by example, and he's going to have, he's going to lead by example, and he's going to have that locker room, nice and tidy. Everyone's going to follow his lead, and it's just going to be a sight to behold. It's good for the Premier League. City, who I thought were the title favorites, along with Chelsea, you add United now to them. They're definitely going to be there to the end. I don't think Ronaldo goes to United without really thinking that they could win the league, they could do something in Champions League. We all know him and Messi are chasing greatness. They're chasing that number 1 spot. And I don't think it's done. People think Messi's already the best. Obviously, there's a good argument for him being it, but I don't think either of them are done. Ronaldo at the age of 36, I think he still has a lot. I do think he could win Champions League and the league with United. Maybe not this year, but the second year, like Varane, Sancho, Ronaldo, this is going to be great. Obviously, people are worried about Greenwood. What does this mean for Greenwood? Is he going to be put in the bench? Is this gonna halt his progression? But I think more than anything, Ronaldo is just going to inspire Greenwood. He's going to tell him, you know what? You could reach these heights. Like it's just, I think it's good for United. I'm very excited. I'm kind of fumbling my words because I'm just so excited to watch him back in United. Like I want this international break to be over. Obviously, we all like seeing our national teams play, but I want that game to be here already. United versus Newcastle. Ronaldo is back. We get to see him on the field back at Old Trafford. I think it's an away game, but we'll eventually see him back at Old Trafford. We'll see him wear that number 7 for United. And I'm just excited because, man, there is some people in United that aren't the best to root for. But as a neutral, and by neutral, I don't mean I don't have a team in the Premier League. I do. It's the Wolves. But as a neutral for the title race, like I don't have a team. My team, realistically, like I've already said, is not competing for the Premier League. We're competing for other stuff, Europa, or not being relegated, being in the top half of the table to get some funds, get better players. So realistically, in the 3-year plan, we're competing for the championship. Like Leicester, I don't have a horse in the title race. So as a neutral, I could definitely support a little bit more. I could lean a little bit more to United just because of the aura that Ronaldo brings and like the legend that he is. And I've admired him growing up, and he's probably one of my favorite soccer players that's not Mexican. Cuauhtemoc Blanco will always have a place in my heart, but Ronaldo is just a legend, and I've always enjoyed his football, and I'm just excited. I'm gonna feel like I'm young again. I'm gonna feel like I'm 12, 13 years old again, watching the Premier League, seeing Ronaldo run down the flank, trying to learn the tricks that he used to do with United, watching tutorials on YouTube, seeing how he does these step overs, how he does these little tricks. I'm feeling nostalgic seeing Ronaldo with United photos, rocking that number 7. It's I can't even comprehend it. He hasn't worn a United jersey since 2009, so 12 years, and he's back. It's crazy stuff. I'm super excited. I can't even fathom this. This transfer window has been ridiculous. Ramos and Messi and Donnarumma and a bunch of other players joining PSG. It looked like Mbappe was gonna leave, but he stays. Ronaldo going to United. City getting Grealish. It's just been a crazy transfer window. I think overall the Premier League wins. The Premier League had a great transfer window. They get Lukaku. They get Ronaldo. They get a bunch of other players. The Premier League is just, I think, head and shoulders the best league right now. The stars have left La Liga. Serie A is still trying to, get that aura that they used to have back in the early 2000s. It's definitely not the Bundesliga, although Bayern is a powerhouse. They're not the best league in the world. It's definitely not the French league either. It just looks like the Premier League is getting stronger and stronger, and now they have Ronaldo, and United have Ronaldo now. And it's just exciting. Get yourself ready. Get your popcorn ready. That's all I have to say. Get your popcorn ready. This is gonna be fun. This is definitely gonna be fun. United fans, this is it. You're gonna find out what this United team is made of. You're gonna find out what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is made of. Is he the right man? You're gonna find out quick. You're gonna find out what these United players are made of. You're gonna find out a lot about Pogba. Is he gonna be able to coexist? Is he gonna throw tantrums? It looks like Bruno Fernandes is all the way in. He called himself Agent Fernandes, recruiting Ronaldo. We'll find out how Sancho reacts. This takes a lot of pressure out of Sancho. He was, the big fish that they cooped. Now with Ronaldo coming in, people kind of forgetting that, Sancho didn't have the best game with against the Wolves in his opener. He's gonna have more leeway to ease himself in. People are gonna have, their glasses, their binoculars pointing at Ronaldo, so it eases some pressure off Sancho. I hope Ronaldo takes Greenwood under his wing and just teaches him how to be the ultimate professional, because Greenwood has potential like no one on that team. And we'll see how Rashford fits in. It's just this team is super talented, and I'm just excited to see how it plays out, for good or for bad. It's gonna be must-watch TV. I would not be surprised if they make a documentary of Ronaldo coming back to United and how this first season goes and all the drama that's going to come with it. Is just incredible. Like I said, sports are not just about when you watch your team play, when they're competing. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. It's like a reality show. It's everything. And Ronaldo coming back to United just makes this reality show even better. It's just a whole different spectacle now. And I'm here for it, and I'm ready. And let me know what you guys think, because I'm super excited, and I just can't wait for it to begin. Newcastle versus United, I can't wait for it. But moving along, the Nets signed Millsap. Aldridge is also coming back from retirement. He has been cleared after his irregular beat that was discovered last year that forced him to retire. And the Lakers are getting DeAndre Jordan after he completes his buyout. It just looks like it's inevitable. We are going to see a Nets versus Lakers final, barring anything surprising happening, barring any trades or any, crazy stuff happening, any injuries, any retirements, anything crazy. It looks like we're heading for a Nets versus Lakers final. First I want to say I'm glad LaMarcus Aldridge is back. Retiring because of heart concerns is never... You never want to see a player go out on not his own terms. Like, obviously, if there was health concerns, he had to retire. He couldn't, just play with his life like that. It was sad to see him retire, but it's great to see him back. He said he's been cleared by not only the doctor by the Nets, but his own doctor, numerous doctors. So it looks like he is fine. Whatever he had has been, cleared, or it's gotten better. So that's good for LaMarcus Aldridge. He's had an underrated career. He's been good with the Spurs. He's been good with the Trailblazers. We'll see how good he is with the Nets. really, really solid career that he's had. No, you can't really frown on LaMarcus Aldridge for the great career that he's had. So it's kind of upsetting. It was kind of sad to see him go out on, some medical reasons. So now he gets to come back, have his proper goodbye. We'll see how long he plays for the Nets. It is a 1 year, $2.6 million deal. So, but I do think if he is cleared for these heart concerns, he could be back for multiple years. It's not just a 1 year thing. It's a 1 year contract, but I could see LaMarcus Aldridge playing, like 1 or 2 more years. And Millsap also signs with the Nets. He didn't score double digits points, I think, for the first time in his career, or like for the first time in like 8-10 years. Last year with the Nuggets, but I think he still brings bettering leadership. He's that tweener that could play, power forward, or he could be a small center, and he can still move a little bit. So decent signing for the Nets, both of them, Aldridge and Millsap. Lakers get DeAndre Jordan, or they're gonna get him after the buyout. So not a bad pickup. Jordan, he is old. He's like an old 32, I believe. So he's lost a lot of that athleticism, but he can still play above the rim. And if anything, he just adds to that rotation with Dwight Howard. We'll see. I think they're saying that this means that Marc Gasol is going to be gone. So, we'll see how that plays out. Marc Gasol, I've liked him throughout his career. Defensive Player of the Year, winner with Toronto, great passer, a tall 7-footer. But I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't think we're losing too much just from watching him play last year. So if it's Jordan for Gasol, I don't think it's like we should be like, oh no, keep Gasol. I would say Gasol adds a little variety to the Lakers' front court position. He could stretch the floor a little bit. He's a great passer, so it's a little different. If you want to have players that are not just all similar, I think Gasol brings a little different. But he is, he does have bricks on his feet right now. He can't move. He's a liability. And Jordan, he can move a little bit better. But what I'm getting from this is just players, veterans in the NBA have, highlighted the Nets and the Lakers as, the two front runners. And everybody's ring chasing, and everybody just wants to be along for the ride. And I don't blame Millsap. I don't blame Aldridge coming back, signing back with the Nets. If DeAndre Jordan signs with the Lakers, I don't blame him. Ex-Clipper, he was with the Nets. He fell out of the rotation. I don't blame any of these guys, but it keeps reiterating the point that we're in a collision course for the Nets versus the Lakers. And it also I feel like this just makes the Nets and the Lakers, like, if people already hated the Nets and the Lakers, they already hated their super teams or whatever you want to call them. They already hated that they're attracting a bunch of players on minimum. They're already hating that they have a lot of depth. I think this just keeps driving that down that now. And the Nets and the Lakers are public enemy number one, and rightfully so. If I wasn't a Laker fan, if I wasn't a Nets, I'm not a Net fan, but if I wasn't a Laker fan, I could totally see, even now that I'm a Laker fan, I could totally see how teams would be looking at all these signings, all these players signing for minimums, and thinking like, bruh, like, come on, stop it. Like, but it is what it is. That's the league that we're in today. And I just think the NBA is basically gonna be the Nets and the Lakers against the rest of the field. Like, I could see if the Nets or the Lakers get eliminated in the playoffs, I could definitely see all the other fan bases just rallying together, rooting for whoever is playing against these teams. So we'll see how it plays out. Ultimately, I don't think Millsap, Aldridge, or DeAndre Jordan are moving the needle too much. I don't think this puts any of these teams over the hump. I don't think this really does much to anything. I don't think any Laker fan or any Net fan is looking at these signings and saying, "Oh, you know what? Like, that's it." Like, if we were competing, if there was any, if we thought that, if we were scared of any of the teams in our conference or in the NBA, I don't think this brings like a lot of comfort. They're good signings. Obviously, no one's really frowning at these signings. as a Lakers fan, it's like, okay, we got DeAndre Jordan. Let's see what he could bring. If he could protect the rim, that'd be great. If he could play above the rim, go up for, alley-oops, that'd be great. And I'm sure Nets fans are thinking the same thing along Aldridge. If he could give us a solid 10 minutes, stretch the floor, be a good passer, Millsap too, be that tenacity guy, go for rebounds, be able to switch on some players, just be a savvy veteran. We'll be cool. We'll like him. We'll take him in. We'll cheer for them. Like it's a solid signing as your 10th, 11th man player on your rotation. It's all good. It's all good. But I don't think anyone's like, oh man, we got Millsap, we got Aldridge, like let's go. Like that's it. Nets champions. Like if you already thought the Nets were gonna be the clear champions, then you still think that. And if you thought, it's a coin flip, the Nets and the Lakers, you probably still think it's a coin flip. And if you thought there was more teams like in the discussion, if you thought, oh, it's gonna be the Nets and the Bucks and the Sixers or somebody else, you don't think like, oh, Millsap and Aldridge, the Bucks don't have a chance anymore. Pretty much what you thought already is still the same. These signings aren't moving the needle, in my opinion. Let me know if you guys think this just makes the Nets super overpowered or this makes the Lakers super overpowered. I don't think it does. I think it'll get a lot of attention because of the names. All these players were all-stars at some point in their career. But I think they're in the tail end of their career, and I don't think they move that needle too much. But I do think this just adds more to the fire of all the other 28 teams in the NBA just rallying together and saying, like, you know what? Like, fuck these guys. Like, I can't wait till the Nets lose. Or I can't wait till the Lakers lose. I could totally see that. I could totally see all the fan bases just being like, okay, like, bro, are they going to get everybody? Like, what's going on? The retirement team for the Lakers. How much help does KD need? Like all these things, like this just adds to it. It just adds to it, and I get it. But in my opinion, I don't think these signings do much for either team. 5-10 minutes, 10-15 minutes for all these guys. They'll have their moments, but realistically, I don't think this does too much for either team. And to conclude, the NFL season is less than a week away. And here are the 5 things I am most looking forward to for the 2021-2022 season. Number 1, the rookie QBs. I think this class of rookie QBs is very exciting. It's probably the class that I've been the most excited for to see in a while. And that's not to take away anything from these other classes that have been before. It's just this one, there's 5 of them. And it looks like all 5 of them could get playing time sometime in this season. And, there's just a lot of storylines. There's fans back in the stadiums. There's a lot of things that are coming together that is making this class super entertaining to watch, or just very amped up to see them when they finally step into the field. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence, he's been touted as, the number 1 prospect since Andrew Luck. Can't miss. He's the next big thing. If you get Trevor Lawrence, he's gonna change your franchise. He's the savior. He had a decent preseason. The Jaguars look like they're gonna be bad again, but I'm very excited to see how Trevor Lawrence does. Is he able to at least make the Jaguars exciting, watchable on TV? How is he gonna play with Urban Meyer? It's just that's in of itself. Trevor Lawrence is obviously, he was already always going to be must-watch TV, entertaining. Like I said, you don't become the most hyped-up prospect since Andrew Luck or Peyton Manning and not garnish the attention of NFL fans. So obviously Trevor Lawrence has my attention. I'm curious to see how he does. I'm gonna keep an eye out on Jaguar games specifically for Trevor Lawrence. And I hope they don't break him, because that team is not amazing by any means. So I hope they don't break him. I hope he succeeds. I hope he's able to get through this season. He has DJ Chark, he has Laviska Shenault, but the offensive line doesn't look like it's gonna be good. And I just hope he doesn't get hurt like Joe Burrow. And then moving along to other rookie QBs, Zach Wilson, it's almost the same thing. He's hyped up. The Jets have been bad forever. They haven't had a franchise quarterback in what seems like forever, since Joe Namath probably. As a Mexican, I thought it was going to be Mark Sanchez, the Sanchez, but it wasn't. So Wilson, Zach Wilson, that's another one. He's going to start. We'll see how he does. And then Trey Lance, Trey Area, he's not going to start. It looks like it's going to be Jimmy Garoppolo. We'll see if Jimmy's able to hold him off, if he's able to stay healthy. But Trey Area, another quarterback that looks like he's going to be electric. He could run. In that Shanahan offense, I'm just excited to see if he's able to get into the field. They're thinking about using 2 QB systems. So that one's going to be exciting. Like, I'm going to keep an eye out on Trey Lance whenever he comes onto the field. I'm pretty sure if you guys ever watch Red Zone, when something important happens, they always cut to that. They cut to whenever a team is going to score, but if someone's about to break a record, Scott Hansen always, Drew Brees just passed whoever with this throw or with this touchdown, Tom Brady, and they cut to it and they show you the little clip. I'm pretty sure one of those cuts is going to be every time Trey Lance comes into the game, they're going to be like, oh, and look at Trey Lance coming into the game. So I'm excited to see how that 2 QB system works for the Niners, and whenever Trey Lance gets his first start or whenever he, gets an extended run, I'm excited to see how he does. Justin Fields, in my opinion, should be starting for the Bears, but they're gonna go with Andy Dalton. But inevitably, I think by week 5 or 6, Justin Fields should be starting, and I hope they don't break him either. I'm scared about that one. That line is not good. They don't have a lot of offensive weapons. It's gonna be Justin Fields and Robinson, and that's pretty much it. So we'll see. I don't believe in Matt Nagy. I don't believe in the Bears. They haven't had a quarterback throw for over 4,000 yards in their history. So it looks tough for Justin Fields. But if anyone could do it, hopefully it's Fields. But he just looks like he has a lot of raw talent. So I'm excited to see him there. And then obviously Mac Jones with the Patriots. They just cut Cam Newton. So we'll see how Mac Jones does. Obviously not the best arm talent, not the best physique, but it looks like he's smart and he's accurate. And with Belichick, that's pretty much what you need. Don't turn the ball over, make smart decisions, keep the chains moving, and ride the ship. So I'm excited to see him. He's gonna start from day one. Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, and Trevor Lawrence, we're all gonna see from week 1. We'll see whenever Justin Fields and Trey Area go into the match, but that's the number one thing I'm looking forward to, how these rookie QBs play out. We get 5 big name rookie QBs, and I'm excited for all 5 of them. I hope they all succeed. I hope they all, turn their franchise around. The Jaguars and the Jets, they're dying for a quarterback. The Niners look like they should be solid regardless if Trey Area plays. But hopefully he does good. Hopefully he gets to that field and we see him take that Shanahan offense to the next level. We'll see if the Patriots are able to ride Mac Jones back into the playoffs. And the one that I'm probably the most concerned about is I hope the Bears don't ruin Justin Fields. But like I said, that's the number one thing I'm looking forward to, the play of the rookie QBs. Number 2, Dak Prescott coming back. Gruesome injury. He had a shoulder injury in the offseason, but it looks like he's good to go. He's going to start week 1. Dak Prescott, I'm excited for him to come back because Dak Prescott coming back means that the Cowboys are going to be relevant. And for all you Cowboy haters, for all you people that don't call them American teams, sometimes, I could be one of those people that are like, they're not American team. They haven't won in over 20 years. They're irrelevant. No matter what you feel about the Cowboys, they're entertaining. They bring things to talk about, and they drive a lot of headlines and news, and it's just always fun when the Cowboys are good. And Dak Prescott coming back, that's going to make the Cowboys relevant again. It's good for the league. It's good to have the Cowboys be a good team. Regardless if they win, I'm not saying I want them to win. Don't twist my words. I am not rooting for the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl. But I am looking forward to Dak Prescott coming back. How is he going to live up to that new contract? The Cowboys are going to be relevant for good or for bad. It's all jokes. I'm excited to see the Cowboy. If they melt in the playoffs, it's all good. It's all fun and games. If they lose in the regular season, everyone's gonna talk about it. If they blow a lead, Cowboys being the Cowboys. It's always fun to have the Cowboys in the spotlight for good or for bad. When they do good, it's good for the league. When they blow leads, when they crash out in the playoffs, it's all jokes. It's all fun and games. So Dak Prescott coming back is one of the things I'm looking forward to. He's making the Cowboys relevant again, and it's good for the league in my opinion. I'm excited to see him come back. The number 3 thing I'm looking forward to is how the Packers will play. I've touched on this a little bit before. Aaron Rodgers, we don't know if he's going to be a Packer past this season. That could be good. That could be bad. They could all rally behind Rodgers. It could be his last season, the last dance with the Packers. It could rally everyone to just give it their all, play their best, win a last championship, win a second championship with Aaron Rodgers before he leaves, or maybe that causes him to stay. Or it could just add more pressure in those rough situations and those rough patches in the season, and you could just creep up in your mind like, damn, this is tough. And on top of that, on top of this situation being tough, on top of this game being tough, on top of us being down in the playoffs and potentially going home, I gotta think that, damn, we might lose our franchise quarterback this offseason that's coming up, and that's it. We're not gonna be the team that we were. Championship window closed. It's a whole domino effect. So I'm excited to see how the Packers will play. Will they galvanize behind Aaron Rodgers? Will they succumb to the pressure of losing their quarterback next offseason? That's one of the things I'm looking forward to. Number 4, Julio Jones with the Titans. This is an important move for the Titans. They get another wide receiver along A.J. Brown. Julio Jones and A.J. Brown, they're up there as the best duo in the league. And you back them up with Derrick Henry, with Tannehill playing at a near elite level these last few years. You might even call it elite, at an elite level. These Titans could make some noise. They could sneak up on a lot of teams. We're all talking about we're talking about the Chiefs. We're talking about the Bills. We're talking about the Ravens, the Browns. Don't sleep on the Titans. Julio Jones could be that X factor for the Titans to take them to that next level into real contenders. The 5th thing that I'm looking forward to, Justin Herbert versus Patrick Mahomes. I've said this before. This has the potential to be the best interdivisional QB rivalry. I'm talking quarterbacks that play in the same division, that play each other twice a year, guaranteed. You don't have to wait to the playoffs to get that second matchup like it was Brady versus Manning. They'll play each other once in the regular season, and you're hoping for them to play each other in the postseason. Nope. Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes both reside in the AFC West. And if Patrick Mahomes is locked up for 10 plus years, Herbert, if the Chargers are smart, they won't let him walk, and he'll be there for 10 plus years too. This is the start of a rivalry. Justin Herbert, 2nd year. Patrick Mahomes, fourth or 5th year. And, they're going to duke it out for the next 10 years. Justin Herbert's coming back. He's not a rookie anymore. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. 2 of the best QBs in the league going at it. Patrick Mahomes, the best one. Justin Herbert, top 10. Potential to move up to top 5. In my opinion, the best. They're going to be the best QB competition. They could be the best QB rivalry ever. And they're definitely going to be the best QB rivalry from QBs in the same division. I'm excited to see Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert duke it out twice this season. Those are my 5 things I am looking forward to the most this NFL season. And for bonus, some that didn't make the cut, but I think are still worthy of being mentioned. I'm looking forward to seeing Stafford with the Rams. He's out of Detroit. We'll see if he's able to win a playoff game or even go deeper. Wentz with the Colts. Is Wentz going to be able to revitalize his career with the Colts? I'm excited to see that. And the last one, the Winston-led Saints. Jameis, you got LASIK. You can see now. You don't have to squint. Is that going to help him cut the turnovers? Or is it going to be doom and gloom for the Saints? Those are the things I'm looking forward to this season. Let me know what you guys are looking forward to. It's going to be an exciting season. I'll be coming next week with my predictions for all the divisions right before the NFL season starts. And yeah, NFL season's almost here. I'm super excited. Let me know what you guys think. What are you guys looking forward to? And this should wrap up episode number 63 of the Hearts Handle Sports Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for subscribing. Make sure to subscribe, follow the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel. This has been episode 63. I finally got my setup ready. I got posted some jerseys. I got Kobe Beijing, RIP Kobe, my favorite basketball player ever. Daniel Thomason, probably my favorite football player ever. And then I got Michael Jordan, the GOAT, on the left. Let me know what else I should put up here. If you're just listening on the podcast, I apologize. I have a number 10 Kobe jersey. I have a number 21 what's it called, light blue jersey for the LT Chargers. And then I have a US basketball team for Michael Jordan in my new room. So let me know if I should add anything else. I'm thinking maybe getting some soccer stuff, some tennis stuff going up, but let me know and be on the lookout for the next episode. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.